Fire. 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 Fire.
Great job making the turret voice activated for Sister Carissa, Brandon. You are a great weapons expert.
Thank you. If anything else in my life, I could always just design guns.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have a promising career in it. It's unfortunate that, the war seems to be winding down and we're not really going to be needing weapons in the future, but,
No, that's not true at all. We need a strong military at all times in case any fuck shit tries to happen again. We're keeping the military.
Well, nobody else is gonna know anything about this place once
Well, that's exactly what Bertram thought when we came in. No, he wasn't prepared at all. That's why we're kicking his ass.
Guess you're right. Yeah, I mean, we really are. I mean, it's incredible how it turned around just a few short days. It's been a few months to say the least. I mean, it all kind of blurs together when you're just constantly slaughtering goats left and right. Tristan, you really turned these extra ones around.
Thank you. They're goat-killing machines.
They really are.
And thanks to our new special infantry division, the Chupacabras, they've been slaughtering goats left and right. They don't know what's coming for them. They've been using something I never even know about it called guerrilla warfare.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So they're sneaking up on them. They're taking them by surprise, and then they're just slaughtering goats.
It's working very well.
I know.
We're making huge progress. I can't believe and we were able to make a plane out of the scraps of Amelia's crashed airplane.
I'll take responsibility for that one, too.
Yeah, Brandon, we're gonna have to make you a colonel after this.
Oh.
Who knew Brandon, of all people, would be a weapons expert?
I know, he's a whiz with metal and all sorts of machinations. I mean, I'm really proud of you, Brandon.
Well, I always have been. I got autism. That was just my thing.
Well, I'm so proud of my autistic baby. I'm gonna get a puzzle piece tattooed on my lower back.
I don't like tattoos, Sister Marvel, so don't do that, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Okay, well, I already got this semicolon tattooed on my wrist.
Sister Marvel, when did you try to kill yourself?
Oh, I don't really like to talk about it, but after I left Sister No and she decapitated Clark and Beverly's animals, sometime in between that and when I became good friends with the Magic Man.
Oh my God, Sister Okay, well, the semicolon's okay, but I don't want everybody to know I got autism.
Yeah, Brandon, I mean, for all intents and purposes, your autism has really been what has made you a good colonel, so maybe you should embrace it.
After we raise another city, can we rename it Autistico?
Autistic, maybe we could call it just like something like Brandonopolis. How about that?
I like it! Brandonopolis!
Fire, fire, fire. There are 3 innocent goat children left in the entire village. Do I kill them, too?
I mean, the 3 innocent goat children now, but what do you think they're gonna be when they're grown up? Sister Carissa, blast them.
Fire, fire, fire.
There's still another one! He's running away, come on!
Fire, fire.
You miss him.
Sorry, Tristan. I will get him. Fire, fire.
That wasn't a confirmed kill, Sister Carissa, when we add up all of the kills at the end of the game. You know what I'm saying? When we add up all your kills, I'm not sure if you're going to be the next rank. Brandon's definitely going to be a colonel. You might be a sergeant or something.
Oh, bullshit. After all of the firing and raising of an entire city of goats here on Goat Island, you are going to say that I don't contribute enough to be promoted? Wow.
What's with the sass? I thought she's like an AI now or something. I thought we could control it, but is that just always how she's gonna be?
Well, it also has to do with the fact that, I am kind of just doing slaughtering, and what that does to the human soul.
Well, I mean, I don't really have to deal with that. Clark, maybe you could, talk to her or something?
Yeah, Sister Carissa...
I'm gonna go, talk to the Chupacabras.
You do that, Tristan, and you get them prepared for tonight's raid on the palace, okay?
Yeah, what the fuck else? You think I'm gonna go over there and talk about something else?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm sitting here talking to Sister Carissa about the souls of humans, so, I mean, things can flip on the dime.
Well, I'm the major of the military. I'm doing everything. You gonna sit there and go over there and tell me how to do my job?
Fuck. Sorry, Tristan. DG, take him over there in the Goat ATV. You two get over there ASAP.
Sure thing, dude.
Oh, God. Sister Carissa, listen. the goats on this island are all mindless sheep who worship the ground Bertram walks on. They will never believe us when we tell them the horrible atrocities he has committed.
Yeah, and those children he killed, they were already taught the lies from their parents, and you can't undo brainwashing.
But we didn't even try. We just killed.
I mean, I think she might have a point, Clark, but I like the killing, so...
Sister Carissa, there is just nothing that can be done about it. Now, unfortunately, Brandon has turned you into the best weapon that we have. I can't help it that you're on the front line and there's some sort of a human cost to this. Now, if you want, we could, maybe turn off the human part of you until the war is over and just use you as a machine.
Somehow, I think that's worse than what she's doing. Because at least right now she's killing savages, and I mean, she's bringing peace and prosperity to the world.
Yeah, exactly. Think of it like you're bringing peace and prosperity. Think about how much, peace is going to be had on the island when we're done killing everybody.
But there will be nobody left to have the peace.
Sure there will. We're going to have to breed new goats, and these goats will be bred naturally, not with the idea of having them turned into sex dolls.
Yeah, and I mean, clearly my autism is what allowed me not to be brainwashed. So maybe I could be the donor goat. We could have a whole family full of Brandons.
Yeah, I mean, the possibilities are endless, Carissa.
Did I just hear that right? Clark, what is going on here? Why is Sister Carissa not firing?
Well, this town's pretty much raised. We're going to, set up shop here and then get ready for the raid on the palace tonight, and then the whole thing will be over.
Keyword pretty much raised. It's not raised yet.
I mean, there's a couple buildings we could tear down, but then where are we going to, sleep tonight?
Sister Carissa, fire.
Fire, fire, fire. Oh, no. It is now becoming innate. I cannot even deny it. I am becoming more machine than human.
What the hell is going on?
She's having all sorts of identity crisis now that she's been killing goats. All of a sudden, she has a problem with it.
Well, maybe we should just turn off her human part for a little bit. I mean, it's fine for now, but maybe we could just erase the memories or something?
Beverly, what do you think? Just turn her off?
I mean, I like having her around, and I like that she's our best weapon, but we can't have her be second-guessing the morality of war in the middle of war.
Right, especially when we're almost done. We need our strongest weapon to be performing at its best.
Right, but we also don't want to be known as an inhumane society before we create a new one.
Well, we three would be the only ones to know about it, right? You, me, Brandon?
If Brandon doesn't run his damn mouth.
I won't run nothing. I want to win this war just as much as you do, Beverly.
Well,
let's do it. Wipe it.
Yeah, alright. Turning up. Sorry, Sister Carissa.
Wait, do you promise to please turn me B-A-C-C-C-K-K-K-K-K-O-N-N-N-N-N-N-N-N-N?
Once I pressed the button, I didn't know she was going to ask me a question like that. I didn't have enough time to answer before I shut her off, but, she'll be alright, right?
Yeah, we'll turn her back on. It's kind of like that Black Mirror episode where the dude has his wife in his head, and she does nothing but bitch and moan the whole time about everything he does, and he just turns her off.
That's exactly what it is.
You seen that one, Clark?
No, I haven't, but that sounds good.
It's
that's
a good
exactly
episode.
What we've done here. Yeah,
Yes, indeed.
And now we can let me just fiddle with the controls a little bit, and, alright. Push her off.
Fire, fire, fire,
She's
fire.
a killing machine!
Yep, and it doesn't even matter because, she doesn't realize what's going on. So, yeah, this is good.
Perfect. Alright, well, I'm thinking some root beer before we raid the palace tonight.
Yeah, Brendan, go and get some sassafras and brew us up some root beer. Thank you.
I'll be right back.
What do you think, Beverly? You think we're ready for tonight?
I think we're more than ready. We've been making the most progress we've ever made.
I know, it kind of feels like the wind is at our backs for the first time in this whole chapter.
We just gotta be careful not to go too hard on the palace, though, because we don't want to kill the princess, and we think she's in there still, right?
Right, and, Dr. Xavier, he's still on our side, and, I don't know, I mean, it's really up to the sex gremlins. Whatever they get into is, I guess, what is right?
Never thought I'd be trusting sex gremlins to teach me about what's right and wrong, but yeah.
Well, there's one last ditch for diplomacy, and if Bertram does it, then we can call him off before anything goes too far.
Right, that's why I before we raised the Walmart, grabbed a megaphone.
Oh, good.
Call out from outside. Bertram, come out!
Move that bus!
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, so here, let me... Clark, can you hear me?
Oh my god, yeah, it's way too loud.
How does this sound?
It sounds
Bertram!
great. Oh my god!
Come out now with your hands up!
Yeah, that'll be perfect. Alright, yeah, that'll be perfect.
Okay. It also has this siren feature.
Wait, no! Oh my... Oh.
Just in case.
Yeah, you could definitely deafen somebody with that. I think you just ruined my left eardrum.
Oh, well, welcome to my world.
Alright, information. Sex gremlins. You have done an amazing job up until this point. Those that have fallen will not die in vain. You will take back this world and reclaim what's ours. Sex gremlins will live. Sex gremlins will rule this world. Of course, I hope you guys know that that's not true.
Oh, no, yeah, I mean, you have to tell them what you have to tell them, Tristan, it's okay.
The savages. Alright, everybody ready on my command. When I tell you to go, go. But first, we're gonna try to do this the right way. Beverly, do you have the megaphone?
I have it right.
Oh,
if I could get it to work right, for fuck's sake. Clark, can you handle the megaphone?
Oh, sure. Hell. There, can you hold the cue cards up?
Yeah. Here. Okay. This is the first one, right?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay, here. Okay.
Bertram Conley, we have you surrounded with all sorts of stuff, and all the cities on the island have been destroyed, and you basically, you are done.
What are you doing here, Clark?
Well, we're basically here to negotiate your stepping down, your resignation, Bertram.
I will do no such thing.
Yeah, see, we thought you might say that, and we're giving you a few more seconds here just to really think about that.
Well, can you turn down the megaphone? I can hear you just fine from the window.
Oh, sure. Now, Bertram...
Hold on, Clark, we got the megaphone for a reason. That thing cost me $19.95.
Well, I mean, if he can hear us, then it's not really...
Do it your way.
Alright, I didn't mean to make you so upset. Let me just... Bertram, we have basically... You have lost all support. Big Red Penis Island has now taken over Goat Island, Goat India.
You've killed my support. I had support and you killed them all.
They're dead, yes.
You're savages. You know better than me.
No. Now, see, we would never do sex trafficking. That's the big thing here.
You'll kill my entire country, but you wouldn't sex traffic, really? You really think that's worse?
Yes, Bertram. I mean, you have this horrible god complex where you think nothing that you did is wrong. You sat here and told me...
You killed my country!
You sat here and told me you turned your brother into a giant red penis who has gone on to rape more than 30,000 goats with your doing and your blessing.
I did, but at least they're not dead, Clark.
They probably wish they were.
Think about the children that you've murdered.
Think about the children that you have had be born with fucked up assholes just so that rich people all around the world could fuck a goat.
You know what, Clark? Fuck off.
Oh.
I have an M16 and there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh!
DG, are you alright?
Oh, Brother Clark.
It's gonna be alright. Get the medic!
Oh, dude. Bertram just shot me, dude.
He just got you in the arm, DG. It's going to be alright.
Kill that motherfucker, dude! Kill him!
We're going to get him, DG. We're going to get that motherfucker.
We're gonna fuck his day up.
How much longer is it?
No, we're ready. We're ready. Go, 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 go.
What the fuck? Barbara! Panic room!
Go! Go! Get them, sex gremlin! Get them! They got Barbara!
You're really gonna...
They're ripping her apart!
You'll never get me! I'm going in my panic room!
Alright, everybody, he's in the panic room.
Well, how the fuck do we get in there?
Oh, Beverly, we already planned for this. This is exactly what you said he would do, Tristan.
I know. C4 explosive.
Yep.
Let's get it ready. I'm gonna equip it with L1, use my weapon wheel, come over here,
Yep.
walk over, I'm gonna plant it.
Alright, stand back, Beverly.
Everybody step back. Hey! Chupacabras, get over here. There's about to be an explosion. Step back and wait. Ignite.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh my god, he's doing the Gustavo Fring thing where he comes out and straightens his goddamn tie after an explosion.
You thought that would do that? You thought that would do it?
Oh my god, and your face is half blown off.
Never felt better.
Whoa, that's really fucking scary. He looks just like that guy from Breaking Bad.
I'm not fucking Gus Fring.
You might as well be.
Alright, put him under arrest.
Get your hands off! Get that dirty balls off me! What do you think you'll accomplish by this, Clark?
Oh my god, they're pulling his skin off, it's all burned.
Oh no. I'm nothing but a meat suit and bones.
Yeah, look at yourself, you're like red meat.
I don't think I can fit it because of the fentanyl I've been taking to deal with the stress.
Oh my god, you're a drug addict?
I'm not a drug addict. I merely take it for medicinal purposes.
Oh, yeah, right.
And I'm losing blood, so rush me to Dr. Xavier now.
Oh, rush you to Dr. Xavier, Beverly.
Funny thing here.
Yeah.
Call 911 now and get Dr. Xavier over here, please. I'm dying.
Why would we do that, Bertram? Why would we do that? This is the point of the whole war, was to get you
I'm the
out.
only one who knows how to run the island.
You're the only one who knows. You didn't know nothing. The way you have run the island has put it where it is today.
I'm the only one who knows how to use the Fountain of Immortality, and if you kill me now, I will merely exist. It's just whatever remains I have.
Wait, that's what happened to Grandpa, so you would just be like a pound of flesh that is in extreme pain for all time?
Yes, it's exactly what I'd be.
Kinda sounds like a...
Oh, you have some mercy in you, don't you, Beverly? Not really, Bertram. You're kind of a dick.
You're one of the worst people.
Yeah, I think we should just waste him now. Just put him in like a box and stow him away.
Yeah, just like he did to Grandpa, right, Grandpa? I think we should do exactly what he did to Grandpa and let him suffer for all eternity and use him when we need to use him.
I think we should bury him. Put him 6 feet under, let him scream. Who's gonna hear his fucking screams under all that dirt?
You're right, and he can't die, so
Right after we excavate the palace, we'll put him under it.
Well, I mean, I don't know if we'll completely excavate the palace.
Don't use my palace, don't.
Bertram, this is not going to be your palace anymore.
I'll let you eat my liver, please.
Oh, I mean, I might take you up on that offer, because I am interested in eating entrails and other organs.
Well, I want to eat his liver first, cause, I don't know, I've just always wanted to try goat. Does that make me bad?
Brandon, you're a goat. You can't eat goat. It'll make you crazy if you start eating your own meat.
What are you talking about, Sister Marvel?
That's what they say. It makes you go crazy because it tastes so goddamn good and you want more of it and more of it.
No, there's not. There's a clan that lives out in the woods that does it all the time.
Yeah, they do it all the time. They don't just try it please. You pop one, you just can't stop.
So you're gonna tell me you're gonna eat Bertram and I can't? What's the fairness in that?
I'm not a goat. I'm not a goat.
Go fuck yourselves, everyone.
Oh, Brandon, come on. I mean, don't you want to see the payoff of the action?
No, I'm gonna go pick out my room.
I want to pick out a room too.
Come on, Sister Marvel.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I'm gonna fuck your brains out.
Ew.
Whatever. I mean, as long as they're happy and out of this room.
Please, please.
Bertram.
I'll save Princess Wilhelm, I will. Just keep me alive.
You've already fucking ruined Princess Wilhelmer. How many times have you and Dimitri tried to inseminate her this week?
How do you know about Dimitri?
We know everything, Bertram. You have no idea the kind of spy work we've been doing over the last few weeks.
Apparently so, and you killed my wife, and you've nearly killed me, if it wasn't for my immortality.
Yeah, Barbara was raped and murdered to death.
You raped her?
Well, the sex gremlins did. They raped her and ripped her apart.
That's exactly why you want... I don't fucking understand. Just kill me or something. Just throw me away.
Those are sex gremlins, Bertram, not humans and not goats. And we didn't do all this experimenting, and we're not using a woman against her will, and we didn't turn our brothers into giant monsters against their will.
Where's Chris even at?
He's back at Big Red Palace. What about it?
So he was too much of a pussy to even come here and confront me himself? He just had his fucking henchmen do it?
It's not safe for him to be here.
What's not safe for me either? I'm dying!
That's the whole point! That's the whole point!
Oh, well, you've got me there. Well, alright, well, do your thing. Chop me up.
Any last words, Bertram?
Fuck you.
Technically, I mean, they won't be your last words because, you know, you're going to be sentient and immortal for all time, just like what you did to Grandpa.
Well, I mean, yes, I will, but you'll never be immortal.
Well, not exactly true, right? Because I'm going to go dip myself in the fountain.
You might know where the fountain is, but you don't know how to use it.
Okay, and what, do you think you're the only person who knows how to use a fountain?
I'm the only one who was given the instructions.
Okay, yeah.
Why do you think the princess is not woken up yet?
That's what you said it did, right?
Yeah, that's what I said it did, because we've never done the last part of the instructions.
Wait, what do you lied the whole time?
Yes, of course I did. Are you dumb?
She could have been woken up this whole time, and instead you're keeping...
Yes!
Tristan, what are you going to do about this?
What do you... Me?
She's your wife. You're just going to let him keep her in a coma forever? Beat his ass!
Okay. You stupid motherfucker, tell me how to save my fucking girlfriend or wife or whatever the fuck she is.
He's so burnt up from the explosion that his leg caved in completely. Oh my god.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, Tristan, but I will never tell you unless you get me Dr. Xavier. Well...
He's got us up against the rock and the hard place.
Yeah, he does. What are you thinking?
Well, he can't die, right?
Well, yeah.
Let's just decapitate him, right?
Take his head.
Put his head on a stick.
Yeah.
Take it out, march him around, show everybody we took over Goat Island and that he's dead. And, you know, then we can, like, actually take him to Dr. Xavier, keep him alive, you know, and then...
Good idea, good idea.
I'll do it right now. Here, let me...
Yes. Oh my god, that's brutal. Look away, Beverly.
Oh, man, my body.
It's disgusting.
Alright, put me on the damn stick.
Oh, yeah, that feels good. How's that, Bertram, with a stick up your fucking skull?
Fuck you, Clark. No speaking while we're parading him around.
Yes, you need to pretend like you're dead, or we're just going to not take you to Dr. Xavier, alright?
Okay.
Play along.
The war is over. That's right. Goat Island has a new president.
That's right, and the new president is Clark County.
In a shocking turn of events, it was not Big Red who voters and Goat Island army fighters believed would be the following president, so a lot of people are feeling quite relieved, Nancy, wouldn't you say?
Well, yeah, and especially, obviously Bertram was a bad guy, otherwise he wouldn't have got himself killed. Here's footage of him being paraded around on a stick.
Yay! If you move it just enough, it looks like he's talking. He's like a puppet on it. He's like Jalapeno on a Stick by Jeff Dunham.
Bastards.
Yeah, see, it looks like he's talking.
On a stick.
Jalapeno on a stick? Here, little girl, play with his lips. He can't do anything, he's dead. See?
Shocking stuff, Nancy. Really cool to see, though.
Right, really cool to see an entire crowd of at least 1 million people shouting on a stick.
It's hard to believe Jeff Dunham has this strong of a hold on culture to this very day. The sun is shining on a new day in Goat Island. There's a new leader, and all things look brighter from here.
Signing out, I'm Nancy Sachs.
And this is just her opinion.
Hello and welcome to MOATAIF. We're back, folks, and this week we're back with a nice little alignment chart. Haven't done one of these in a while. But we have been just for over the years, but especially just in recent months, in private conversations, just constantly it'll circle back to Grand Theft Auto. We love the series, we're huge fans of the content, and we're constantly bringing it up in one way or another, talking about playing it, memories of when we played it, different characters, and especially Grand Theft Auto 6, which, you know, we've been anticipating for 10 years now.
Yep.
Almost. So a lot of the times we'll end up talking about things that we hope for in the new series, which inevitably talks about, like, oh, well, I really want to see, you know, I'd really like to see Vice City updated as the new map for Grand Theft Auto 6. Well, if you start talking about Vice City, how can you not talk about the original Vice City? And then you're talking about all kinds of shit.
Right? There's like a never-ending amount of things to talk about with Grand Theft Auto.
Truly. And one of those things are just the incredible characters that we've been given over the years. And, you know, last time we aligned LGBTQ individuals. And this time we're going to be aligning Grand Theft Auto characters, protagonists, but also some of the side characters too, because, you know, just to have a well-rounded discussion, you know, you can't just talk about the protagonists.
Not a huge amount of protagonists in the series too.
That too, especially because we excluded Grand Theft Auto 3. Though I have played it, and though I have, like, opinions about it, it's definitely not, it's hard to consider it. It's just not as good, obviously, being the first like that, in that style.
Yeah.
And we couldn't even remember his name just off the top of our heads. His name's Claude. Is the character from Grand Theft Auto 3. But, like, it did not just stick out in my head as anything important.
I'm pretty sure he makes an appearance in, like, San Andreas at some point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is some crossovers in those original games, which I really loved. And, like, I loved in that era when they would release, like, the Grand Theft Auto Stories side mission or side games, like Vice City Stories and Liberty City Stories. Loved those side games.
Ballad of Gay Tony.
Yeah, exactly. The Lost and the Damned. Really wish we had had more of that for Grand Theft Auto 5, but instead they just said, we're gonna do the online stuff and that's it.
For a decade. And milk it for everything it's worth.
Did you see the latest thing, something called Grand Theft Auto Plus?
No.
Where it's a new subscription for the online model where you get, like, by paying this, like, you know, $19.99 a month, you get perks in the game.
No, I didn't, but that's stupid.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. Like, you get, like, $500,000 for it every month in your game account, and
Damn.
certain cars that you're allowed to unlock that other people wouldn't be allowed to unlock. I'm like, I don't care about that shit. I want a new game.
Right,
Like,
me too. Maybe if there was another game that wasn't, like, so old now, I would actually, like, maybe invest some time into the online. And if they made the online a little better with, like, I want more, like, character options. I want to be able to, like, really, like, make my character stand out. Maybe even look like me, but you can't really do that. They just give you, like, a presets that you can kind of fuck with.
Yeah, kind of like a generic set of, like, there's, like, 6 faces, 6 hairstyles, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I want customizable, and I want lots of clothes options. I want to, like...
I don't even know what it would take for me to be more interested in the online aspect, because I'm just really not interested in it. I liked it when we were able to play together. That was like obviously the best part, being able to, play with your friend. But outside of that, like the heists and the, buying your apartment and having like a, your own car that you get, that part doesn't excite me, because I'm like, I can already do that in the game, sort of, to an extent.
Yeah, but I think there is an element of the stuff you earn on online is like when you have something that's really yours, it means a lot more because you really had to work for it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and it is, sometimes like I would, in Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5, I would just play. One of my favorite things to do was fly to the Statue of Liberty and pretend that I was the security guard at the Statue of Liberty in Grand Theft Auto 4. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to follow traffic laws to get there. I'm going to like do all this like crazy shit. That's where I find more fun, and I feel like, you can do that online, but it's just a lot more like, I don't know.
The roleplay aspect is certainly really fun.
Yeah.
Which is why I think 5M is really fun, too. If they had like a 5M for Grand Theft Auto 6, I guess it would be probably like 6M or something like that. Where you could really, truly roleplay with a bunch of other people that are roleplaying.
Mm-hmm.
And like in those, like if you're not following traffic laws, if you're not doing all that, like there are actual police who like pretty much on the clock. That's how serious they take it. Like they'll pull you over and shit.
Yeah, I have watched content like that, and those are fun. Like just people that are good at it and entertaining at doing it. It's fun to like watch stuff like that. But there was just for some reason it just never really spoke to me as much as just the actual playing in the sandbox of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, these just have always been, that's always been my favorite aspect of it, is just the fact that it's completely replayable in so many ways.
Yeah, there's tons of things you can do.
The missions are fun to replay, like once you beat the whole game, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm going to delete all my progress and start over and play the missions again.
I hate doing that. I want to beat the story once and I'm done with it.
Well, I agree. Like, I like to do that, but sometimes it's fun to go back and play the missions again, because they do put a lot of fun missions into the game.
They really do,
especially in Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean, in 5, there were so many missions that were fun to play, especially because obviously 5 had the dynamic where you could switch in between characters.
Yep.
And sometimes, like, in the same mission, you would be switching in between characters from different, like, when Michael is hiding in the back of Franklin's car, and then, like, you are playing, and you get to interact with Michael in that way. So cool. I absolutely loved it. There's just so much about these games that are so classic, and what better way to sort of talk about the whole series than to align some of these iconic characters. So I guess one place to start, would just be to start at the top of my list, which would be Tommy Versetti, our protagonist of Grand Theft Auto Vice City. To me, one of the most iconic characters in the whole series. Can't speak high. I mean, he's played by Ray Liotta.
Yeah, which is badass.
It's just cool. I love like the style of the clothes he wears and just the things that he says. I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a crush on him. Of course I had a crush on Tommy Versetti.
Oh my god.
He's cute! I mean, you can't say he's not.
I mean, he's like blocky as all live in hell, but I guess I said
I guess you gotta use your imagination. You can't just take the graphics at face value.
Yeah.
But he's, what can you say? I mean, right from the start, really, with Tommy, he's just like instantly kind of a bad guy. I mean, he's instantly on like, in on like the drug game and peddling drugs through Miami and trying to become the big man on campus, I guess. And he's definitely got like some anger issues. He likes to yell. I mean, he's I don't know where to put him though. They're all kind of hard to rank.
The man is certainly not good by any means. I mean, he had like Vice City is probably the one I played the least, although I did play it a lot. Yeah. But didn't he have like a huge life of crime before all this? Like the man has just lived, breathed crime, and
he's kind of like Scarface.
I'm pretty sure at one point you like ignite like a gang war.
That's true. That is true.
Some sort of gang war, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you take down Cortez and his like whole mansion and go in there and basically kill and act like Scarface. I mean, so he's definitely psychotic. There's no doubt about that. There's something, I think I'm like swayed by the vibe of the game, because like he's definitely psychotic, like more than anything.
I mean, he clearly doesn't give a fuck, so I'm thinking chaotic for sure.
But where chaotic evil? I mean, you really think he's evil? Because, like, I would say Trevor Phillips. Trevor Phillips is definitely chaotic evil, right? I mean,
Trevor is definitely chaotic evil.
Like, he is sadistic, he's twisted, and he's, like, literally insane. So, like, I think he is absolutely...
Do you think he's chaotic neutral?
Tommy Versetti?
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, because I don't think he definitely... I mean, like, if you compare him directly to Trevor, it's like they don't have much in common other than the fact that they are both, you know, crime lords.
But you have to think, if we're starting off with putting Tommy Versetti, who's killed, like, so many people... just to, like, advance his own kingpin operation in Miami.
Yeah.
If we're putting him in chaotic neutral, what is that? I mean, certainly chaotic evil is a scale. Trevor is definitely at the bottom. I think he's the most chaotic evil of them all.
Yeah, I think he's got to be there for sure.
I think Tommy Versetti is chaotic evil, but...
It's so hard to say. It's so hard to say. Because, I mean, honestly, with that criteria, almost every single one of these characters, I mean, they all have a hit list. You know, they all have people that they've killed. So couldn't they all be chaotic evil by that standard? You know what I mean?
Kind of, but, you know, this could also bring us into a discussion about Niko.
Okay.
Niko was doing all of his shit just out of sheer circumstance. He didn't want to be doing that. The man was a child soldier.
You're right.
The man lived, breathed war from the second he was, like, could perceive it. And, like, he wanted to be out of it. He was, like, coerced into doing all this. And, like, every mission is just like, what am I getting myself into? I don't want to be doing this.
You're right. You're right.
Tommy Versetti was instigating it.
You're right.
He said, I'm going to come down to Vice City. I'm going to fuck this shit up. I'm going to make this shit mine. I'm going to make a name for myself.
You're right, and he successfully did that, and he made the connections to do it, and he didn't look back, and he killed whoever was in his way through whatever means necessary.
Yes, he did.
Including, like, swarming Diaz and swarming Cortez's house, and, like, going through and slaughtering every single bodyguard, and then killing the man himself, then taking over and living in his house.
Yeah.
I guess you're
Shamelessly.
Right. All right. Tommy Versetti, chaotic evil. I'll relent.
There it is.
But you bring up a good point about Niko, because I mean, truly, I mean, you think of Niko the whole time. He's like, he came here for family and for American dream.
He really wanted to turn his life around.
He fell into the wrong crowd, because I mean, honestly, by the time he got to New York, Roman, who was also on our list to be aligned, Roman had already gotten associated with the wrong crowd, right? I mean, because basically by the time Niko gets here, it's like, hey, I'm already deeply in debt. Like, one day Roman is just, like, captured and put in the back of a fucking...
one of the first missions. Like, you gotta, like...
go rescue him because he's in the back of a trunk somewhere with some loan shark.
Yep.
Eventually they have to, like, burn down the taxi depot that Roman owns.
Yep.
For whatever reason. So, like, you're right. He really was thrust into this awful situation. It really, I mean, Niko is probably one of the most tragic characters in all of the series.
Yep. So I think that in terms of, like, the horizontal aspect of this chart between lawful, neutral, and chaotic, I think Niko really stands a chance to be somewhere in neutral. Because I don't think he's a bad person. I don't think he doesn't exude chaos. Because everything he does, he's doing for a reason. Even if it's just like, by all means necessary, I have to protect my family. That's a natural human instinct.
You're right. And I mean, you know, he does kill a lot of people. There's no doubt about that.
He did. But I don't think there's evil in his heart necessarily.
No, it's like all circumstantial. You know, it all arises out of like, well, you know, I got involved with Brucey, and now Brucey is, you know, I need to go save Brucey. So obviously, like, I'm going to kill all the people that are about to kill Brucey.
But then again, a normal person wouldn't kill.
Right, like, why? I mean, you know, he has something wrong with him where he's like, well, obviously I can't call the police.
Right.
So, like, he's got something. He's definitely a good case for neutral, because obviously nothing he did was lawful. I mean, you can't say that by any stretch. So I don't know. Do you think? I mean, is he true neutral? I don't know, because you could say neutral evil with all of the evil aspects of what he had to do to get to where he was. But I can't even let that go for even a split second. Niko and evil doesn't go together.
It doesn't really.
He's not evil, by any stretch of the imagination. A true neutral, you think?
Maybe, yeah. It just seems weird. Like,
he's not chaotic, like you said, because like chaotic neutral is also an option, but he's not very chaotic. I mean, he's pretty straightforward. I mean, he just keeps getting in these awful situations, and he's not lawful. So I think the only place we can file him is true neutral.
Yeah, but I think, obviously while we're on Niko, why don't we talk about Roman?
Yes, I was thinking the same thing.
Because Roman's always getting himself into trouble, but I feel like he also has good intentions. Like, I think he's just too dumb.
Yeah, I was going to say Roman's a big idiot. Roman is a fucking idiot. Like, he gambled away money. He borrowed money for his taxi depot that he knew he was never going to be able to pay back.
Yep.
He got them involved in a lot of shit, like all of the shit. I mean, he basically had Niko come to America under false pretenses to help him with all of the situations that he got himself involved in.
Yep.
And on top of that, he's annoying as shit.
Yes.
Because in this game, they introduced the thank God that it didn't carry over much into Grand Theft Auto 5, but the idea of like calling your friend and hanging out with them and building relationships with the characters in the game. It was a cool idea, but it really just became more annoying than anything.
Yes.
Because the missions that you got to go on like weren't fun. It's like, oh, we're going to go get drunk and play darts, like is probably the coolest thing we could do.
I always thought strip club was the coolest.
Well, that too, of course, yeah, because you could, go. And
That's where he would always call me, be like, "You want to go bowling?" And I'm like, "Sure."
Exactly.
And then I would pick him up, and then I'd just go to the strip club.
I love that. One of my favorite things to do was to agree and then just like get in a car accident on the way there, like get into a really terrible car accident on the way there, so that we didn't end up going.
You know what's really annoying about Grand Theft Auto 4 though is that like if you're just trying to like sandbox it in the middle of playing the game, and you're just in between missions where like the mission has to be instigated by a phone call.
Oh yeah.
And then you get the phone call like
every 5 seconds.
Yes, it's so fucking annoying.
It's like I'm trying to just play the game right now, just like have fun messing around. That is one of the best parts, especially in that, and the fact that like usually that means, except in Grand Theft Auto 5, up until that, the map was like blocked. You couldn't get to certain areas. So it's like you really had to get through all the missions to really get the full experience of playing the game on Sandbox. Because you wouldn't be able to go all the way to the certain parts of the islands. You wouldn't even be able to unlock certain areas of the map. And then eventually you'd have all these people calling you. I mean, I think it was glad that they got rid of that by the time.
Yeah.
In Grand Theft Auto 5, you could just go and explore the whole map from the beginning of the game, which was awesome.
I know, right? Yeah, I think we all love that.
So Roman Bellic, he's certainly, he's got to be chaotic, right? I mean, he exudes chaos.
Yeah. I think he's a good contender for chaotic good.
Chaotic good. You could say, yeah,
maybe. Actually, no.
Chaotic neutral, maybe.
He's a liar. Yeah, I think chaotic neutral he's a good contender for.
Yeah, because like you say, he's not necessarily evil. A lot of his things are just like he's stupid.
His negligence causes chaos.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think you're right. Roman Bellic, chaotic neutral.
And I think Tommy Versetti, going back to this, is closer to Trevor than he is to Roman.
Yeah, for sure. When you get Roman in this category, yeah, he's definitely a lot more like Trevor than he is Roman.
Yeah.
It's just so sad to admit it that Trevor and Tommy are so much alike, because Trevor is like just absolutely insane and honestly disgusting.
He is disgusting.
So it's kind of hard to compare them, because like Tommy, I think just exudes sex appeal.
Oh my god.
So CJ Carl Johnson, the protagonist of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Gotta say, I loved this game when it came out. Called off school, went to the midnight premiere.
It's awesome.
Stood in line at GameStop and got the game with my dad and Alicia, and then went home and played it for hours and hours and hours. Loved this game. At first, I really liked the idea that you could gain weight or like you had to eat and you had to like get muscle. I really liked that idea.
Now I think it's annoying.
Now I think it's stupid as fuck, yeah, because like I hate the missions where like they introduce those mechanics and it's like you have to go to the gym, you have to go get I don't want to do that.
Yep.
But you can't blame CJ for that.
No, I mean, clearly not, but CJ is kind of like Niko in the sense where a lot of his was circumstance, you know, because he had like ran away from his family kind of and the whole gang back at Grove Street. I don't necessarily, was it to live like a better, clean life?
I think so, but part of me also feels like, didn't he go to prison?
No, I think he just left to go to Liberty City.
Oh, and then his mom died, right?
Yeah,
So
and that's why he came back,
yeah.
and then everybody's just sort of like, CJ, where you been? Why'd you walk out on Grove Street?
And he kind of falls right back into the bad crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it's the fact that he definitely, you know, has the aspirations to be not that, but he really throughout the game sort of becomes like the head of the gang and kind of starts calling the shots through the turf war, you know.
Yeah, but a lot of it's just to get the ballas out of his neighborhood.
You're right.
I don't know, but I don't feel like CJ has as much depth as other characters. It's kind of hard to place him.
Yeah, it's that game. I don't know. It's I don't know. The story isn't as exciting about that game.
No, not really at all.
So, well, none of them can be considered lawful.
No.
I don't know. Is CJ going in true? Now maybe like chaotic good. But still, good. Good is a hard sell because none of these men are good. But true neutral doesn't seem right either.
No, it doesn't. Maybe chaotic neutral.
Chaotic,
but that also puts him in the same place as Roman. But
they're he's definitely. I think it fits for CJ just because it alludes to the chaos of his upbringing and the awful. But it gives him enough credit by saying, but it's a lot of the circumstances that he was brought up in. It would have taken a lot for him to overcome this and not become a gangbanger with his upbringing. So like I think neutral, you know, by putting him in neutral, it really gives him a lot of credit.
True. Okay, I see that. Okay, I'm happy with it.
Okay, we've got 2 more lead characters to place, but I think any conversation about CJ also has to have a conversation about Big Smoke, who I think is just one of the funniest names of any character.
Yeah, I mean, who could forget? I'm a number 9.
Right. And numbers 9 and a Diet Coke. You know, one of the funniest scenes in that game, of course. But I'm doesn't Big Smoke have a huge like betrayal in the game?
Yeah, he
like,
does.
Isn't he's a Benedict Arnold type?
It's kind of similar to Lance Vance.
Yeah, Lance Vance is a huge betrayal.
Yeah.
So like I feel like Big Smoke definitely wherever he goes has to be an evil, right? I mean like
I'm pretty sure Big Smoke had been working with law enforcement to kill Sweet, who is I think CJ's brother, and then I think CJ's mom accidentally died from that.
Ah, shit.
I know he meant to kill Sweet, and that's like what the big betrayal was, and like potentially I think maybe his mom died in the process. But maybe I could just be getting everything mixed up.
Yep. Carl finally realizes the true colors of Smoke and Ryder and how they are complicit in his mother's death. Yep, you're right.
Yep.
So that's evil.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely got to put him down in evil. I don't know if Big Smoke is chaotic evil, though. You think he's just neutral evil?
I think he's
just
neutral
flat out is evil. That's just like, that is flat out evil. And not only that, but he's also instrumental in getting CJ back involved in the life of crime.
Yes.
And, I mean, flat out killed his mom, essentially, by being a turncoat. Nothing worse than that. Snitches get stitches, and Big Smoke goes into neutral evil, for sure.
Yep. And then I think when he died, like, he admitted, like, yeah, I just did it all for myself, and I did it all for money and shit.
And I'm glad that I'm pretty sure you get to kill Big Smoke, don't you?
Yeah.
As you get to kill Big Smoke, and, you know, a spoiler alert for a 20-year-old game.
Right.
But you mentioned Lance Vance, and he's also on the list. Now, this is, for me, of course, you know, Vice City was my favorite of the series. And to me, Lance Vance is such an iconic character to discuss. I mean, he is just, by the time he shows up in Vice City, you know, he's just this cool ass guy who wears a white, like, crushed linen suit You know, he's this tall black guy who wears a crushed, like, white linen suit, and he's got this incredible white sports car. I can't remember which one it is from the game. But he's like this cool-ass guy. He shows up and helps you with some missions from time to time. You know, you two take on, like, this sort of brotherhood kind of thing. Like, you and Lance Vance are going to take down Vice City together.
Yep.
And then Lance Vance betrays you just like Big Smoke, because Lance Vance also had his own stakes in Vice City and his own desires to move ahead. But it's so hard because he's so cool, and he like works with you for like the most of the game, you know, unlike where kind of like Big Smoke, if you go back and like you rewatch it, like, yeah, he's involved in a lot of the missions, but you kind of always get this like, yeah, well, he's not really my friend.
Yeah, true.
Because CJ is always kind of on the edge with the people in the gang. And the Lance Vance thing, even when I was replaying it most recently, it really still surprised me. I'm like, I can't believe that happens. Gotta be an evil category, right, for Lance? I mean, does that automatically?
Yeah, I'm thinking neutral evil for Lance.
Because again, it's the utter betrayal. Like, how is that anything other than just flat out evil?
True.
You know, Lance also makes an appearance in Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories because his brother Victor Vance is the main character of that game. And you get to work more. That's a really interesting game because, like, you get to work more on, like, building your business.
No, really? I don't think I've ever played Vice City Stories.
It's honestly good, and, like, it has the exact same map, of course, but you can take over, you know, you buy brothels, take them over from a rival gang, and, like, build them up and upgrade them, and...
That's cool.
You'll get random, like, calls on your beeper, and it's like, oh, the brothel on Main Street is under attack, and you're like, oh, shit. You, like, speed over there. It's a cool game, yeah.
Yeah, they kind of have similar things in 5.
Yeah, it's a cool game, honestly. Doesn't get enough credit. That or Liberty City Stories. Of course, I don't remember anything about Liberty City Stories, the one for PS2. I do not remember it at all, but I did play it. So back to some of our main characters here. We've got Michael DeSanta from Grand Theft Auto 5, one of the 3 main protagonists of Grand Theft Auto 5.
Michael's clearly evil.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, he kind of seems like a real sociopath.
He does have definitely sociopathic tendencies.
I mean, he wants to live a life with his family, but he also, like, fucking hates his family.
True. And when we play as Michael, we go and literally blow up his family, like, over and over and over again when we play as Michael. So, I mean, like, that fucking obviously hilarious. Makes him seem like a sociopath. But, you know, you gotta give Michael credit, though, because he did officially leave the game, you know, in the opening mission there.
Only because he was forced to.
True. But, you know, he faked his death. He left the gang.
But he bragged about everything he did any chance he got.
You're right. And definitely evil because he betrayed his friends and got his one friend killed. Which
I forgot about that.
Which I don't think that was ever even, like, supposed to be part of the original plan. Like, but he still was going to sell them all out for his own gain to, like, just go and live a better life out in Los Santos.
Yeah.
He's definitely, I mean, you can't trust him as far as you can throw him, and he's a portly fellow, so you couldn't throw him very far. He's very violent. I mean, he goes on that thing when he finds out, like, the tennis instructor's fucking his wife.
Yes,
and goes and, like, runs him off the road and all that shit.
Was it the tennis or yoga guy? Or maybe
yoga instructor, yeah, that's right. It was the yoga guy. But, I mean, he the whole time, even then, when he gets kind of drawn back into the game, he's still working with that FBI guy. Like, he still has that connection.
True.
With the guy from the FBI. So, like, is he like lawful evil because he ends up working with the law so much that he's kind of able to, he gets what he needs, and then he's like, all right, I'm going to turn my friends in and get out with the law while he gets to walk away scot-free, but he gets to take all of his money, he gets to fake his death, and he gets to go to Los Santos.
True, I guess I could see that.
Because, I mean, he's definitely, like, he's a sociopath. Like, you could just as easily put him with Trevor and Tommy in the chaotic evil category, because, like, he does bring a lot of, he has, like, the anger issues that definitely make him seem, like, chaotic.
I think because he's so far in the middle, I think he's a good candidate for neutral evil.
Neutral evil?
Because he could be chaotic evil or lawful evil.
You're right. And I mean, and it's like, how much does he really do with the law? Because I mean, he doesn't keep that guy abreast of everything. And I mean, the whole point of Grand Theft Auto 5 is making heists, doing super heists.
Right, super heists.
So, but and it's interesting though, because if we do put him in neutral evil, he would be in the same category with Big Smoke and Lance Vance, who also deeply betrayed their friends for...
Yeah, well, seems like that's where he should be.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, Michael DeSanta, neutral evil. We're definitely filling out this bottom right-hand quadrant.
Yeah.
Nobody's been able to get out of this bottom right-hand area. Speaking of Michael, though, and the absolute heists that we do in Grand Theft Auto 5, lots of fun missions, including setting up for these heists, and getting all of the necessary equipment that a Lester Crest gets you to set up.
Super hacker man.
He's a super hacker. He seems like he lives on disability just because he's got
total
he just,
neck beard.
Seems like the type of guy. I loved the mission that first introduces Lester where you blow up that guy.
I think that's one of the best missions ever.
Yeah. And you go to his house and you're getting the email, you're planning this whole thing out, and you that's when he first introduces Lester, and he helps you with the device that's going to end up blowing up in this guy's ear, and you constantly go back and deal with Lester. He's a weird character, and I don't really know where to rank him because he is so smart and almost like an idiot savant, and he's completely aware of what's going on and involved in everything. And definitely is a part of it, has, gets a percentage.
Somehow seems disconnected from it at the same time.
Right, he's not going to be the one that's going to be the first person called to be arrested, but if they ever figured it out, he is involved in so many crimes. And not only involved in them, but a key strategical member in these heists.
True.
And all of these, none of these things could have happened without him.
It's hard to call him evil, though.
He doesn't seem evil. Yeah, he doesn't seem evil. It almost seems like he's just so smart, and he became such a good hacker that he's I'm just going to take matters into my own hands. And because I mean, for a lot of it, up until he gets involved with with Michael and Trevor and all of them, he's doing hacking, stock market stuff, manipulate, white collar crime, more
Right.
white collar stuff. So he definitely seems like he's just using his powers for what he believes is good, taking down tech companies and increasing his own stock portfolio while he does it. But it seems like not a place from evil, but just from a I'm smarter than everybody.
True. I mean, he might be a good candidate for true neutral as well.
That's true. That's true, because he's not good. I don't think.
No, he's not good.
You definitely couldn't put him in good, and he's not lawful, and he's not chaotic. So yeah, I think you're right. I think we'll put him there. True neutral.
And this is clearly GTA standards, because I couldn't imagine if we were comparing him against other people putting him in neutral.
Right.
Compared to Ellen, he's not neutral.
Right. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's all based on the alignment of the other people around him too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got a few other minor characters that I feel like we should knock out. One being Gay Tony. Had his own spin-off series of Grand Theft Auto 4, The Ballad of Gay Tony.
Yeah, I don't really know that much about Gay Tony, though.
Gay Tony is an interesting one. Definitely of the two that came out on that expansion, which I can't even remember what they call. Was it just Liberty City Stories again? Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories?
I thought it was the Ballad of Gay Tony.
Well, because that included two games. One was the Ballad of Gay Tony, and the other one was the Lost and the Damned. But I think they sold it as just Liberty City Stories.
Oh, yeah, I think so then. Yeah.
And of the two, the Ballad of Gay Tony was more it took place in nightclubs, and it was about drugs and excitement. You jumped out of planes a lot and helicopters and skydive and that kind of stuff. And the Lost and the Damned was fun too, but that was the biker one. and it was you played as the biker gang, and it had I think The Lost and the Damned had the better story, but the Ballad of Gay Tony was more fun to play. I liked like the way that it looked and the visuals and like the lights and being able to like run a nightclub and then like go into the nightclub and entice somebody to come over, and then they go and like fuck in the bathroom. It's hot. I mean, like, it was cool. It was cool. And Gay Tony, I think, is an interesting character because he was definitely, you don't play as Gay Tony, which is interesting. You play as Luis, I believe. And Luis ends up starting to work for Gay Tony, who, is the owner of the nightclub, owner of all these different nightclubs in town. And, he obviously has some sort of poor business dealings because he's definitely a criminal. Tony has a lot of debts, and part of this comes into play in Grand Theft Auto 4 with, like, the diamonds. You remember the big, like, diamond heist that you have to do in Grand Theft Auto 4? Mm-hmm. That's like a mission that shows up in the main game, and then you play different parts of it in both of the expansions. So like I remember like the biker gang had something to do with that, and then also Gay Tony, who was trying to trying to pay off his debt.
You might have to make the call on this one because I don't really.
They end up having to kill Gay Tony is the main thing. And the really only reason I included Gay Tony was just because his name is so like iconic. Like, what a name, Gay Tony. Gay Tony. I mean, sure. Like a great name for a thing, but he is definitely. It's hard to say he's evil. So I lead towards neutral. I think I'm going to put him chaotic neutral because he's hard to keep up with. He's got a lot of business dealings. He's got the chaos of like Roman, where he's got all these debts, and all of the events basically that transpire, including his death, all arise because like the man has horrible business dealings. So yeah, I think we'll put Gay Tony in chaotic neutral.
Okay, I'm happy with that.
We've got two more characters here, or three more, but two of them to go together, so I'll include the one that doesn't go together. The only female on our list, her name is Karen Daniels, but we know her as Michelle. In Grand Theft Auto 4.
This one is what I think could be the wild card.
This is definitely a wild card. If anybody is going to be lawful, it would be Michelle.
Yeah, exactly.
Michelle is, this was truly, I was not expecting to be so just an absolute gut punch while playing Grand Theft Auto 4. Poor Niko gets involved with somebody, of course, through Roman, gets involved with Michelle. You have to take her on dates as, like, part of the mission, and you start to, like, get to know her, and occasionally, like, she'll call, and you'll go on dates, like, outside of the game, like, outside of the actual mission.
Yeah, which I always thought was really cool.
Me too! I really got to like Michelle. I'm like, I like Michelle.
I liked the dating aspect.
Me too. Like, sometimes I would call Michelle and be like, let's go on a date. And when she would say yes, I would get excited. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna have Niko and Michelle go on a date. And like, sometimes you'd get invited up and you two would have sex.
Which was awesome.
In the hot coffee scenes. Loved that. And come to find out, Michelle is a rat.
Yep, working with the FBI, I think.
I think she works with the FBI, and she's like also part of the she's like a journalist.
Oh, is she?
And so she's been like writing this, providing information and writing information on this like underground crime ring, and she basically just absolutely breaks Niko's heart when she comes clean with it.
Yeah, and I kind of thought that she really like enjoyed Niko too. I think that she actually grew to like see what we saw in him, that he wasn't really a bad guy, but he's doing a lot of this for family and because out of circumstance.
And there was nothing she could do about it. Like she couldn't change the fact that like he's a criminal and she's like working with the FBI. I don't think she meant to catch feelings, but she did. And then she was unable to separate herself and be like, actually, I really like this guy. I'm not going to do this. Instead, she's like, I actually really like this guy, but I still have to do this, so I'm gonna like break up with him and still go through with doing it.
Yep.
And I think that makes her a true case for evil.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
But Zach, it's her job. Like,
I know, like,
but
so
she's doing what she thinks is good.
I know, but like, she really leads the man on. I mean,
but that's what you have to do in those sorts of situations, like a honeypot situation.
But it's evil then, don't you think? I mean, Niko didn't deserve that. Niko did not deserve to have somebody essentially like play him. Like obviously she couldn't just be upfront and be like I'm spying on you, but like did she have to like literally like make him like fuck him? Like she fucks him. She fucked him. She didn't have to fuck him.
Yeah, but I don't think she did it maliciously. I think that she made a mistake as a person.
So what are you thinking? Where do you think she goes?
I'm thinking lawful neutral.
And so it pulls her out of good because of all the bad she did, at least.
I think so, yeah. I mean, she's clearly lawful.
She's definitely lawful. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
It's hard to say what she did was evil.
I guess you're right. It's rude. It's mean.
But it's hard to say what she did was good.
Yeah. Fuck. I guess you're right. Michelle goes in lawful neutral, as much as I absolutely hate her. That is interestingly one of the characters that, you know, when you start thinking about the series, it's like, this is a really good story. Like, the games really do have a really good story, and all of these, like, side characters, sometimes, you know, they're give or take, but a lot of them are really good characters that you grow to actually care about over the series, and I think Michelle is a good example of that, because like I think that's the main reason I was so upset, is I'm like, why did they got me too, you know what I mean? Like I started to like Michelle.
Yep.
Fuck her. Fuck Michelle. So we got our last two here. They're kind of a duo. We've got our final lead character from Grand Theft Auto 5, Franklin Clinton, and his good friend Lamar Davis are our last two characters.
Yeah.
Now these are two kind of goofy guys. You know, I think Lamar is just an absolute goofy kind of guy.
Yeah, he's funny.
He's almost like the comic relief in the scenes. Like Franklin is already like, you know, he's not really a bad guy at the start of the game. You know, he works as a car repossessor, which is totally above the board.
But kinda. I mean, they're not really doing legit repos.
Well, I mean, I guess not legitimate repos, but he does. I mean, he works for the car dealership, and the car dealership told him to go repossess the car, and he does. You know
true.
What I mean? So, I mean, and he was making good money on doing that, and it was, I think, when he goes to repossess one of Michael's cars, that Michael
roped him in.
Yeah, and like gets him all involved in the criminal underbelly going on, and get him involved in heists, because he's good at driving. That's like the main thing.
Yeah,
they needed somebody who could drive. So I mean, of all of these people, Franklin, at least of Grand Theft Auto 5, I think Franklin, based on just his inexperience and his youthful age, I think like already is above everybody else. Like I think in terms of like morality.
True. Yeah, he's definitely not evil.
Definitely not evil. It's hard to say. Could you argue that he's good?
No.
I mean, yeah, I guess because
so.
He still does murders. He still does do murder, right? I mean, obviously, like, does he murder in the missions? Because I mean, obviously, you can murder all day long if you want to, but
I don't know if he really does murder in the missions. He might.
He does obviously a lot of driving and a lot of assisting in the heists and that kind of stuff. But, you know, I think one of the main things, and, you know, I know that you played the game differently there at the end, but when I was playing the final mission where you can choose to save Trevor and Michael, or you can choose to save one, you can save both, you can save neither, I saved them both with Franklin. And to me, that's where I'm like, he's a good guy, because, I mean, he didn't have to save both of them, or just even one of them. But he still does, you know what I mean? He goes through and he saves these guys who, I mean, technically didn't deserve to die. I don't know. You definitely can't say he's good, right? I mean, nobody's going to crack into the good category, are they?
I don't think so. I don't think we're really dealing with a group of people who are good.
You're right. You're right.
And I think clearly in missions, like when you're playing as Franklin, you are expected to kill. You will not progress if you do not kill.
Yeah.
There's no sort of like way you can get around it. And I don't think Franklin necessarily likes doing it, but he does it.
Fuck. And I mean, there are times though, like, you know, in his like little dialogue that you hear like right as the mission's ending when you're like walking to your car, he'll be like, "Man, shit."
Right,
like,
exactly, right.
Like, man, come on with this shit.
He's tired of it.
Where do you think that puts him? True neutral?
I think so.
True neutral.
I think that makes the most sense.
I think you're right, because, like, he's not necessarily evil. He's not good, but he's not lawful either. So, like, where else can you put him? He's got to be true neutral, I guess. Interestingly, he would be the first Clinton to be neutral, because as you know, Hillary Clinton has killed 90 people.
Chaotic evil.
Right. Yeah, chaotic evil for Hillary. But Lamar, now he's a kind of of all the side characters that we chose, Lamar's kind of the most inconsequential, right? I mean, he hardly has anything to do with anything. He's just kind of bumping along. He gets it, he helps out when need be, but he's really just the comic relief, so to speak.
Maybe that could put Lamar at chaotic good by all of our standards.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Does he really kill?
Not that I can think of. I mean, he would be one to be firing out the side of a window during a mission, right? I mean, so like he could totally be killing that way. Let me see what it says on GrandTheftAutoWiki.com.
Good resource.
Right. It says here he is described as crazy by Rockstar Games. It's all just like kidnapping and doing drug deals, no murdering yet.
I think by maybe Grand Theft Auto standards, he could be chaotic good.
He might be. He really just he is just really a side character. He just helps to set up deals, but it doesn't look like he's done much killing. Lamar actually comes and helps in the final mission, and it says after he lives at the end of the game. Yeah, I think you know what.
We need one shoe in.
Lamar Davis. We're putting you in chaotic good because you still got all that chaos. Rockstar calls you crazy. So, folks, there you have it. The completed Austin Zach 00 Grand Theft Auto characters alignment chart. We've got let's see, Lamar Davis, chaotic good. Michelle at lawful neutral. Niko Bellic, Lester Crest, and Franklin Clinton in true neutral. Roman Bellic, CJ, and Gay Tony in chaotic neutral. Big Smoke, Lance Vance, and Michael DeSanta, the betrayers, are all neutral evil. And who could forget, Trevor Phillips and Tommy Versetti are chaotic evil kings. Folks, I've been waiting 10 years for Grand Theft Auto 6 at this point. Let's
bring it out.
I played Grand Theft Auto 5 in Chicago for the, and with you for the first time all those years ago when it came out, right after we graduated high school. I'm sick of waiting for the new game, and at this point, it's gone so long that my expectations are equally astronomical and also absolutely abysmal because I feel like I'm destined. Right. I'm destined to be disappointed if I just keep really like when it came out. I'm like, okay, in the next game, I want to be able to go into every building, and then now, I'm like, I want to be able to go into every building. I want there to be 3 cities. I want to be able to travel between cities. I want to do this. I want to do that because the rumors have gone so crazy over the last 10 years that everything you hear, you're like, well, that sounds like a great idea. So now if it doesn't have 3 cities and 3 protagonists and potentially the first female protagonist, and it doesn't have, a new city, and it doesn't have the bigger and even bigger map than before, and it doesn't have, it's like I feel like I'm going to be disappointed. So it's hard to keep your expectations so high because they are so high, but also to keep them so low and to only have such little rumblings of the actual truth about what's going on with this game and when it's coming out. It guaranteed to be one of the biggest selling games the second it comes out just because of the sheer number of people who are anticipating it.
Yep.
So Rockstar, if you're out there, we want to add more characters to this fucking list. Let us revisit this alignment chart.
I can't wait till we can.
I would love to revisit this alignment chart and just have, especially after having a brand new game fresh on our mind, to just add like so many characters from the incredible Grand Theft Auto 6, which, when it came out, we were able to get the PS6. There was no problem getting it, and the game runs perfectly, and it was less than $1,000 all combined. That's all I want. Like, yep. I feel like we need to start saving today to be able to play Grand Theft Auto 6 when it finally comes out.
Right.
Well, folks, we'll be revisiting this list in 5 or 6 years when the game finally comes the fuck out, and if it never comes out, then this is the last Grand Theft Auto alignment you'll ever see on MOATAIF. But let's hope that game comes the fuck out. Come on, Rockstar. We want it.
Bring it.
Until then, folks, stay moat.
You going inside? I don't fucking care. Go your ass inside. See if you ever see me again, you fucking cunt.